Welcome back to the hottest marriage show known to man. If you haven't heard about it, it's because you haven't heard about it yet. But it sounded funnier when I said it in my head.
It probably would.
But you little jerk. Oh, I gotta wash my water bottle. Anyways, I am John David Lewis, aka Too Much Me, aka the Habitual Thought Challenger, here with my wife, the better half, the one who does everything well.
I'm the better half, yeah.
Definitely the better half, and I'm just blessed to be along the ride. I wanted to attack something really early in this episode. We're approaching a holiday that is known in the western side of the world, particularly the United States, Thanksgiving, the fourth Thursday of every November. And I remember, the turkeys and, fall leaves and all of these ideas, Native Americans, and now as I've gotten older, to get a better idea of what this holiday means. And I wanted to talk about this because it's been so difficult to stand for something that you feel like it might be right and then make other people feel uncomfortable because you want to tell them that we're celebrating something that probably doesn't represent what it started out as.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that?
So as Fakesgiving approaches, because I don't call it Thanksgiving, it's interesting. My understanding of this upcoming holiday, and even the holiday coming up in December as well. My understanding of what it was meant to be when they started it out and what it looks like now are really different.
Oh yeah, I mean it's all about a money grab at this point.
Everything is commercial. Like y'all, we could not even get good into Halloween before Thanksgiving stuff came out, and Christmas stuff is out already.
Just think about this. I just saw this meme that said, didn't y'all just get a flat screen last year on Black Friday? What y'all talking about? Flat screens is on sale.
I'm saying there's so many things that are coming up about
that
all
just
of this
spends money.
Yeah, it's just spending money, and it made me think about a conversation about people buying tons and tons of things. And even all of my friends will talk as we're coming toward the end of the year. Everybody be like, hey, what does such and such want for Christmas? Because we're going to send gifts to the kids and stuff like that. Well, what does such and such want for we're all trading money out of our houses into other people's houses. First of all, we buy stuff for our kids, and then other people buy things for our kids. And our kids don't even really play with all of this stuff. We end up throwing most of it away by somewhere between April and June. Or the kids forget about it and it's all piled up, and then we do it all over again the next year.
Programming is real.
And for what? I feel like it's this year. This year I was telling the kids that they're getting money for their stocks for Christmas. They're not getting, and I'm not about spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but what I'm saying is like, I know coming out of college, I spent so much money on them credit cards, and I don't know where any of that money went. I don't want the kids to get used to doing that. You just getting stuff, and you don't even know where it went. The next year is just it's a money grab again for more toys and stuff.
That's a good way to look at it and think about that. We kind of just practice the same habits that we were taught as we become adults. And I guess in order to change the programming, we have to recognize that we were in that thing, because I remember when we first came, when we lived together and we were doing Christmas, I was not happy with the way that she viewed Christmas because they got everything. It was just like, it was more so me hating because I didn't get that as a kid, but I was like, this is just wasted money. Like the baby can't talk, move, and nothing. And we out here giving this baby like a television Christmas.
Look, first of all, this is what I want y'all to understand. I'm gonna beg him for the picture we took of her for Christmas, for her first Christmas.
I know what you're talking about.
I hope that's gonna be the thumbnail.
I know the one when she's sitting in the chair.
Yeah, she did not have a lot of stuff.
She
y'all
did too.
No,
maybe not in comparison to the rest of y'all households, but it was how about this? How much money was wasted from that Christmas?
No, none of the money was wasted in that instance. I mean, she was a baby. She didn't know. I wasn't gonna be acting a fool. But her stuff was it was learning oriented. It was like books and all that other stuff. But the point is is that I figured out. Now, he used to hate, let's just say this. When we were growing up for Christmas, in my family, we were not spoiled. However, my mom, she would get what she could for us. And instead of it being like a ton of things to unwrap, my mom would already have it set up. Like if I got a baby bed with a baby and some clothes, she'd have the baby bed out. She will have made it with the little blankets. She'd have she made it look like when you came in, you're like, oh my goodness, it's a toy store. It wasn't really a toy store. It wasn't toys everywhere, but there were things set up so it just looked like it was just awesome and amazing. That's what I remember. But then you talk about your Christmas.
Yeah, let me tell you about my Christmas. So, like, my Christmas consisted of my birthday's in February. My sister's birthday's in January. So my father said, don't expect too many gifts because y'all birthdays is around the corner. So my aunt, my Korean aunt, she used to buy us a gift every year. And so she was like, you get $100, you can buy whatever you want. My household, now there was a time when my aunt stopped doing that. But in my household, it was literally, you never got anything you wanted. And I literally mean that. I remember getting a Nintendo in, I don't know, 5th or 6th grade. But it was after the Nintendo had already been out. Like the new Super Nintendo was about to come out. But I never got anything I wanted. And we always got underwear and socks. That was wrapped up. Like, so my Christmas, I was just like, this is whack. So I was just like, I made it through. I was like, so we didn't have to spend so much money. Why are we doing it for our kids? So that was that's something that I could have brought along. Like, hey, these kids, I did try to do that with you and you were not having it.
Look, first of all, it wasn't that deep. But the point is that I really didn't try to get to the point where we were poor coming out of Christmas.
For sure.
But,
It just looked like we were going to be poor.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell y'all what changed the game. So when we moved to Abu Dhabi, right, toys here, I'm going to tell you, Dallas he wanted this dinosaur. The dinosaur will roar. And it was almost as tall as him. And at Walmart, that mug cost $37. But if I wanted it in Abu Dhabi and I was going to purchase it, it was going to be $275. And I was like, oh, no. Like, Christmas about to be different this year, y'all. And so...
even the Legos.
Oh, my God. The Legos cost so much money. And so that first year, I will never forget this. So they in Dallas, they didn't get a lot of gifts for Christmas, but they got a good amount up to that point. Our nephew was with us that first year in Abu Dhabi. His mom used to go in on Christmas, right? So I remember that day for Christmas, we didn't have a lot of things for them because I wasn't going to spend a bunch of money. And the Toys R Us over there was like trying to beat me over the head and steal my bag, right?
It was different.
It was different. And so they had just a few things underneath the tree. And so when they opened up their gifts or whatever, they in Dallas were like playing with whatever. And Darius was like, where's the other stuff? And then Dallas said, what other stuff? He said, where are the other toys? And Dallas said, well, maybe Santa didn't feel like you deserve more toys.
Oh, man. He said that?
Yeah, he was a savage child. And so I said, well, sometimes you don't need to have a lot of things, just things you really like. Well, it took Darius a second because he was looking like, look, I'm used to gifts.
Yeah.
And so, but he left that first year. That first year, he went back home to be with his mom.
Oh, his mama ended up sending a package.
Oh yeah, she spent $70 to mail. She spent $70 to mail the gifts, and I couldn't even believe she did that. But I ain't even gonna talk about what she spent on the gifts either. And so when they got back home,
when Darius got back, and we came back here, Christmas, same. I think the next year we went to Zanzibar for Christmas, didn't we? So we didn't focus on gifts that year because we went out of town. And then after that, I think it was the year after that, we started doing countdown to Christmas, where every day we were trying to do something. Like they would get Christmas socks on one day or pajamas on another day, and we would watch do games.
Yeah, games and stuff. And so then we started changing it. In the following year, the last year we were there, we did karaoke in pajamas.
Yeah.
And so everybody came over in pajamas, and we did karaoke.
Had a big festive dinner.
Oh, it was a whole bunch of people, and they had the greatest time. And when we got back here, they understood that we weren't going to be traveling a lot. You know, we were waiting for John to come and visit us because he was still in Abu Dhabi when we moved back here. And so we chilled out that first Christmas. But after that, Dallas was like, when are we getting back to like our karaoke, and you know, when are we going to have more people over? So they got, without us even trying, they got reprogrammed into thinking, you know, the holidays is when we like do things together. We make donuts.
Yeah.
And where are our Christmas socks? And what movies we going to watch? What did we do? We did Christmas bingo last year.
Oh, we did a few things. Last year we created our own. We did something like lined up with Kwanzaa.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody had a day, and you were responsible for making different activities or something that engaged all the family members throughout the day.
Yeah.
And what I liked about it, because it kind of changed the dynamics of why we're together during this time. And even when we get older, we anticipate that everybody's still going to be responsible for their day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to make something that's ours. You know, I guess at the beginning of this, I was just telling you guys about how we're taught these holidays it don't even mean what they may have started out in.
Yeah.
And they, you know, the history of it doesn't match up to your belief systems, but you can always create whatever you want.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can line it up with everybody else's stuff so that you don't feel like your kids are going to miss out.
Yeah. And so I think that's the thing that I love most about the celebrating now, because the kids are focused on, for Thanksgiving, they're focused on who can make a dessert.
Yeah.
Like they want to be able to bring a dessert. And when they're talking about getting ready for the end of December and Christmas or what have you, they're talking about, well, what is my day? What am I doing for my game day? Well, what are we going to do this? Like, so nobody has said, I want this. Can I have that? Not even Darius.
Yet. We're not in December.
That's true. We're not in December yet. But I guess I'm thinking back to when I was younger. I used to go through the service merchandise book.
Oh, you know what? Service merchandise was for rich people. I've never known anybody to order out of that until you.
Golly. The service merchandise book, JCPenney, the Toys R Us book that used to come out. Like, we used to go through and pick all that stuff. As soon as they sent that mug out, I had a list popping. Don't talk about service merchandise.
No, I'm not. I just said you were rich.
Anyway. So, but now, no.
Yeah, no, I mean.
And when you think about when the holidays leave, like I can say that over the last couple of years, I haven't been like
stressed out about.
I'm so glad that that's over.
Yeah, and that's what I'm telling you guys. Like, we spend so much money on things that we don't need, and then stress out about what we spent. It's like we do this every year, and I feel like if you're going to change what you want it to look like, you have to like stop doing what everybody else is doing.
But you know, I think that part of it is I don't want to be insensitive and act like everybody has the time to do that. Some people are strapped for time, so they can't be planning out something to do every night leading up to.
No, I didn't even say that. I was just talking about spending all this money on capitalism.
Yeah,
like I'm just like anybody do whatever they want to do in their household. I just feel like if people had more money, a lot of the things that they're chasing wouldn't be necessary. Like just like you said, you was like you're trying to teach kids to save and build versus save and then spend something. Like over the course of time, you think you get something. You never know what it is like to buy something that means something because you're always buying the little things that mean nothing. Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to give some advice where parents will appreciate it when January coming. They're not bothered that December's over.
For real. Like, oh my God, thank God that is over now.
No,
and that's not even what the holiday season is supposed to be like. Like, you shouldn't be like, ooh.
I know. And like, you got certain people that's looking for their refund checks already.
I need to re-up. Where is my W-2?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of life is that to live? It's like, I don't know. Look, the whole purpose of me bringing this up was that these holidays will bring a lot of money out of you. I mean, then think about it. You got Valentine's Day in February. Oh. You know what? The holiday that bothered me when I moved to Michigan. And you used to hold me accountable for this day that I really...
Don't move here if you don't want to do our cultural practices.
Sweetest Day. For those of y'all that don't know Sweetest Day, it is like a holiday in October. It's supposed to be for men, but men still end up spending the same amount of money.
I didn't know it was supposed to be for men.
Yeah, so y'all supposed to just get 2 days?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? This is the type of programming that I have to
I don't even pay attention to Sweetest Day anymore.
Of course you don't, because you know what? You didn't realize it was for me and you wasn't getting anything. You know what? That's so crazy.
No, I stopped paying attention to it because when we moved to Atlanta, it wasn't no.
I remember you saying something in Atlanta about Sweetest Day. I was like, so
what that first year, and then I was like,
I don't know.
That might have just been you wearing me down.
No, I'm just saying,
just
like
making me feel like I just not getting no.
I feel like you even then before I changed, I didn't need those days to do anything for you. So why are they telling me that I have to spend money today? And it's not fair because, it's a certain standard that people expect because of holidays. You're supposed to do this because this is what's traditionally been going on. And how can you elevate if you're still doing the same thing everybody else is doing?
Oh, that's what you're going to tell me to be unique. Be yourself. Be your own self.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I don't really care about.
I know you don't care about it anymore. But at one point, we had to get through that.
Really, any gift-giving holiday, I just feel like we just be transferring money in and out of each other's houses and just handing it on over to people. And
because it's a program. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We have to. You know what we should do? We should tell everybody, all of our friends. Okay, look. Any birthday or holiday come up, whatever you're supposed to give, put it in an account and let's see what it looks like after 5 years. And then everybody put it together and let's do something. Let's buy a continent.
Shut up. I had a friend, she told me, she was like, I don't understand why we just be buying people. Okay, I got to get this person to give. I got to get this person to give. She said, why can't it just be focused on like when you see something, you be like, that is something that Kanika would really like. And then you get it.
Yeah.
And if you don't get, only give somebody a gift when you're moved to do it. Because it's like, oh, this really fits them. Because you know what I figured out is that even with you, I end up looking for gifts for you. And there's nothing you really want, nothing you've expressed that you wanted. But I need to give you something. So I just find something. I'll be like, oh, he likes watches. I'll get him a watch. He likes this. I'll get him a this. And for what? You didn't ask for it. You don't need it. You don't want it. And I spent the money anyway. And for what?
I remember when I was getting to this point and I'm like, why won't she get the message? Because like I used to like those things a lot. But then when I realized that, I'm like, this isn't the way that I want her to show her love for me. Because it's like taken away from us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need it. And specifically, like if I want something, you're going to have heard it from me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I know the things that you've gotten from me, I want you to know it's been very thoughtful by far. Like I can see why you did it. But at this point, it's like I only want to give you that happiness you said you can't get.
Okay, so you know me and my 3 things. Give me 3 things that I could do for you to show that I care about you. Just at the drop of the dime. I don't have to prepare for it or anything. And if I just did it, you be like, oh, that was...
Oh, socks. Like the socks that I will wear. Some socks that kind of like that are loud.
Yeah, I get you.
Let me see. I like these jogging pants. You know, I like this hoodie. I do.
This dude keeps naming off hoodies, sweatpants, and socks.
Well, you know, I don't want any more.
Yeah, but
okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
but I do like
without me going to the store and buying you something.
Socks.
What are 3 things I can do, sir?
No,
without me going to Amazon and ordering you something.
No.
What are 3 things I could do that you'd be like, I really appreciate like that? Like, as an example, one of my things, if we're sitting and you just start rubbing my feet or massaging my head,
that's not something you're gonna be like, what are you doing? You're gonna be like, thank you, or feel like
I would at first I'd be like, what you doing? But then I'll be like, oh, that was really nice. Thank you. Okay, so that's one of my things. So now reset. What is one of the things I could do at the drop of the dime? You'd be like, oh, that was really nice. That made me feel all loved and stuff.
You know, I like impromptu going to get something to eat, even though I probably won't eat anything at the restaurant.
For real?
I do. And I do like the journey of trying to find something to eat, but I just enjoy possibly having a drink and talking to you.
You know what's interesting is that I like that too for the food.
I know that's why you like it for it. But I'm liking it for you, you know, because I know that we're going to have a good conversation and possibly have something.
Okay, suggest lunch. So if I suggest lunch or breakfast, then
I just, you know, I don't want it to become something that.
Yeah.
No, actually, I do. I want it to be regular, but I want something like spontaneous, like every once in a while. Like, okay, you remember that one vegan restaurant that we went to on the other side, and I was like, I had never seen this, or I even I was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that food was good. We should try that. Yeah. You want to do that today?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess we could.
Yeah, let's do that today. Yeah. Look at y'all, I'm romancing him. Anyway.
At the 22-minute mark.
Oh, shoot. So,
yeah.
Okay, so massaging my feet or massaging my head or even my back. You know what else I like?
What's that?
The hugs. So lately he's been walking up, because you know they say when you need like 8 to 12 hugs a day, it helps to release stress. It helps to, you know, make people feel all kinds of the good stuff. So the hugs where my arms go up over your shoulders, if y'all have ever heard about my meaning behind hugs, this doesn't apply to that. But when you hold real tight and it almost cracks my back, like it stretches me. Number one, it relieves stress and it stretches my back, but also it feels really good. Like you hold on longer than just like hug, let go. Like you have a long lasting hug. I like that.
You know, I started doing that because like I think you mentioned it. It was like the 18 is when I was like, I don't know if we could get to that.
He hugs is a lot a day, 8 to 12. Golly.
You know, I'll tell you this. The kids they used to really average that.
Oh yeah, they used to hug all the time.
Yeah, like they would be on their iPads in their room engaged in it and feel like, okay, it's time to go give a hug. And they'll come out with their iPad in their hand and then come give you a hug. And that has died down. But I purposefully hug them. And I just want to change the climate of this family where love looks a certain type of way. And I don't want love to be like tough or hard, so that when somebody gives it to them, they know what it feels like versus, you know, looking like, okay, it can get better than this.
Yeah, I want them to know what real love and intimacy it looks like too.
Yeah.
I don't want them to just be trying to figure it out and be with a bunch of buttholes. And then that person imparts their definition of love and intimacy, and it's not worthy of my kids.
Well, you know, I do believe this, that the way that we're teaching them, that they're going to have so much patience that they may very well deal with some buttholes and change their life around.
Oh my
like,
God.
you don't have to be mean anymore.
We don't have to save the world, but I know sometimes we do. You know, I heard that about, well, I can't remember exactly what I heard, so let me not add that part in. But yeah, I don't think that people who are hurt or who've been broken by their past or how love has shown out, I don't think that they should be pushed to the side, and only healthy lovers can be with healthy lovers. I do believe that some people can be loved back to health, and then they can provide that love too.
I mean, it sounds good to say healthy lovers can only do that, but how many healthy lovers have you ever met in your life that they say, this is it? And even though you may have some, just think about how many of them you've never met. And
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's very difficult. That's why I think you and I we created this to kind of like show our journey of us, trying to find what we thought we had. You know what I'm saying? Like what we married, like intentionally, like what we thought we were going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like. Just trying new things. We also did this. We were supposed to do it every day, but we stared at each other. I think it was for like 3 minutes, and it ended up being 4.5 minutes. And the only reason why it stopped because I was getting tired. I
wanted to go to sleep, man. That's hard to stare into somebody's face for 3 minutes.
It wasn't hard for me.
It was hard for me. But what was hard for me is because it requires you to be quiet. And I'm used to, at least at some point in time, something else moving. So, you just sitting there staring at somebody and it's quiet all around you. Like, I almost immediately was like, how long are we supposed to do? Are you feeling something? I'm not feeling anything.
Hey, listen, when I tell you, look, so I meditate every day. And from when I started to where I am, I'm very proud because she made me appreciate being able to meditate because you could see that she was uncomfortable.
Super.
It was just she and I, and she just wanted to talk, and I was just like, I'm going to ignore her. Maybe she'll be quiet.
Yeah, he stopped talking, and I was like, oh, okay, we really doing this.
We always really doing that.
So then we're sitting there staring at each other, and then in my head, I'm thinking, what am I supposed to be thinking? Like, am I supposed to be focusing on anything in particular? And then I'm looking at his face and I'm like, it looks like he's hurt or he's sad. And then I'm sitting there trying to figure out what could he be feeling? And then I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what are you supposed to be thinking about?
Mm-hmm. So while you were doing that,
4.5 minutes were torture for me.
So I will say this, like I had the same thoughts, but it was a lot slower. And I was thinking like, so if I do this enough times, I'm going to be able to see her soul. So I was already thinking like, I know that I wasn't going to get anything from it because we haven't done it enough times to appreciate what it's supposed to do for us.
And that was Barry White deep.
You so stupid. Oh, you just keep telling me this.
No, it's like Secret Garden deep, like down in the garden. That's not the song. But anyway,
but yeah, like I
okay, we was trying to see souls and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so when I did, I can tell you, I said it does look like she's hurt. No, for real. And then I don't know, like something changed where it was just like I was looking at your eyes again. But to me, I really believe if we did that every day, that at some point we would be able to be like, oh, I get it. And that's what I told you before. I said, at some point you and I are going to be able to have conversations without talking. We're going to be in public and we're going to be looking at the same thing and be like, yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's my goal. That's my plan. I don't know why. Like I told her, I was like, I don't know how you looked at marriage, but the way that I look at it, I want this to be your best decision ever. I want you to be like, you know what? He showed me things that I didn't even know could happen and existed, and I'm appreciative. So that's what I keep working on. I feel like I do enough of these days. you gonna feel that way.
Oh,
I be just massaging your feet and rubbing your head without you even saying anything. You be like, man, it works.
Hey, y'all, let me tell y'all. Okay, we probably supposed to be gone soon. No, we ain't. Okay, let me tell y'all. So, when John came back, like, and I've said this before, so, like, the last, from January to July, he and I were really trying to find our way back to each other with these new people that we had become, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was on this whole thing where I was like, let's share music. Now, I suggest y'all do this because this, to me, I thought it was so interesting. So if you come across a song you really love or you always loved growing up, something that reminds you of something, send it to them. And so I was listening on Tidal, and the Tidal is so intuitive, and this is not a sponsored anything. I'm just saying it is, because you will start listening to stuff you really, really like, and it will pull something, like, it just figures you're gonna like it by the algorithm, I guess. But it's like perfect music that you be like, oh, I love this. So sometimes Tidal pulls even music that I have not heard in years that I love. So I sent him a song, and I'm going to tell y'all my songs. So Miles Davis has a song called Blue in Green. It is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard, right? And so I sent it to him, and I was like, I used to love this song all the way from college, blah, 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 blah. In a sentimental mood, John Coltrane. Love that song. Sent it to him. There were some other ones I sent. What were the other songs I sent?
Her.
Oh, Her.
Make the Most.
Oh, yes. So Her has a song with this guy. I think his name is Lawn AM. I don't know what it is, but it's called Make the Most. And there were some other songs. So either way it goes.
Claire de Lune.
Oh, Claire de Lune. I love that one too. But I used to send these songs to him every so often. And so when he came in July, we're in the kitchen of our friend's house because we were down in Atlanta. And he was like, you want to dance? Oh, that's my third thing then. I love, like, impromptu. So he was like, you want to dance? I was like, yeah. He was like, let me put something on. So he puts on one of these songs. And I was like, oh, I love this song. So we're dancing. And so he was like, where did you even hear this song? And so I'm telling him the story. And I said, it's this song. It was Miles. That was what it was. It was Blue and Green. And I said, it was this song. And then it was this other song that I fell in love with, John Coltrane, in a sentimental mood. And why was that the next song that came on, y'all? So we're like dancing, and I was like, wow, that's amazing, right? So we're still dancing because I'm dumb. And I forget that I've sent these songs to him. So we're still dancing, and another song I'm in love with comes on, and then a fourth song. By the fourth song, I was crying, right? Because I was like, I can't believe. I said, did you, like, make a whole, like, playlist? It was all of my favorite songs, and it was, like, tears, like, snotty tears, right? I was so overwhelmed by that, and I was like, that is so, like, aw.
Well, when I remember when you were sending them to me, and I was just like, what can I do to show her that, like, this effort is for real? And I was like, let me do this. And I was like, when I did create the list, I didn't know when I would be able to use it. Oh. I had no idea I was going to use it then. So I was just really dancing with you because I know that you like dancing. Oh, yeah. And then I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, you know what, dudes, if you do that, you might get a little loving and a little rubbing.
Well, look, I don't need any loving and rubbing. I just want her to be happy.
But either way it goes, do you like my music?
I do.
Or do it be like, ugh?
No,
okay, I'm pretty good at choosing music. Anyway, yeah, I think that was one of the things that I was like, wow.
And you know what's so crazy? It didn't take long for me to ruin that moment.
Oh, yeah, he ruined it almost, 15 minutes sharp right after that. I was like.
And it wasn't even intentional. It just happened. But anyways, the whole point of it was showing you that I'm making more efforts to become the husband that possibly you you thought you wanted.
Yeah, I think that the whole idea of intimacy and connection and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be my thing, or like staring at each other, I don't know, or holding each other for a whole minute or whatever the case may, I don't know. But that right there, that moved me.
I'm glad I could. And I'm just thinking, like, to sum all of this episode up, it was talking about holidays that spent money, and then it came down to just every day with you and spending no money. It was just spending time with you with things that you find dear to your heart that I thought about. And I was like, that was way cheaper than them holidays.
Exactly. That's the truth.
Yeah. So this was a pretty good episode again. Put a holiday spirit. Anything you want to give a shout out to before we get out of here?
Yeah, so you guys are all doing these Secret Santa things and what have you. At my job, we're doing one with elfster.com where you could put in your like information, and then you can add your wish list, right? You can say what you want, and then whoever ends up drawing your name, they'll know what you really want. And so what I decided to do was the only things I put on my wish list are Black-owned businesses. And so there are a few that I pulled on there, and it's a candle company out of North Carolina that I got to remember. I think it's called Southern Elegance, and I'm really excited. I'm hoping that they buy me one of these candles because I may end up buying it for myself. But my super sinister plan, y'all, was for them to look at these items and be like, oh, this looks nice. This looks nice. Maybe I'll send this to somebody else, or I'll send this to somebody else. And they won't even know that I just made them buy a Black-owned business that they didn't even know about.
And we got the community working. Like, it's like word of mouth, because my wife picks great products. So if your company is a great product, that's the plan. Like, we want to like lead by example. And I thought this was dope for anybody. So check this out. This is how you can be a part of the turnaround for Black business. Like, participate in what is it called? The Secret Santa. Participate in one just to give some advice or some suggestions where other people can hear and be like, oh, I'm going to do that. Yeah. Because again, it'll get other people to support us, because we already know how hard it is to get up and going, to be thriving at this point. Yeah. So let's get people to help us out.
Yeah, without even knowing. So I made sure that I didn't choose anything that like,
oh yeah, like this is black, blackity black.
Even though I wanted one of those silk line caps. And there was one that had a kente. I didn't choose
What's
that.
What's going on here?
I'll purchase that for myself, but I put the stuff on there that flies under the radar, and they need to start. They need to start supporting, and they never even know, because they're looking at it and they're like, "Oh, this smells really good. This looks really nice," or whatever, and you just buy.
Yep, and there's so many Black-owned companies that have things for $20 or less.
Yeah. Because that's our thing is 25 or less. Hey, but for real, it was like a drink mix. You know how you get the little shaker and all the little attachments and stuff. There was one of them for $24.99, but I didn't feel like it was appropriate for work. But anyway, I got some candles. I got a sugar scrub, and there was something else that I put in there that I wanted them to get me. So hopefully they choose one of them, and they'll be like, oh, this is a nice little selection. Let me choose this and this and this for my friend and my cousin and my mama. And we'll see, and we'll just keep on spreading business.
Definitely. And
shout out to Southern Elegance. I'm saying that though.
Shout out to that idea that could really spread like wildfire. So if you're out there and you want to participate in the movement, that's a great way to do it. Nobody knows it. You got integrity. You're promoting people that look like us and just want a better life.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, just that they just want a better life, you know?
Yeah. And not that we're saying you got to trick people into buying Black-owned business, but I'm saying if I'm going to have anybody buy me something, that's what I want them to do. And if I want them to be exposed to a new business, this is a way of doing it.
Yep, and they may even just like the product.
Yeah, but in most cases, people don't go looking for Black-owned businesses. They don't take it. It takes time. like to look up what you want and to make sure that what you're looking at is a Black-owned business. Because some of us are not, look, here I go. But some of us, when you go, like I go onto the website and then I go to About Us because I'm looking for them to either have a picture of the owner or like mention their name or something like that. That'll give me some idea. But if I don't, then I just go Google the people, owner of this company, because I'm hoping I see a picture or something that indicates that they're Black. But in most cases, it's not. And so you have to go and look and make sure if we want to, you know, we have to do work in order to support our people. We got to seek out their products and know where they are and what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to make it a little bit easier for somebody.
For sure.
This year.
And hopefully we can help people, influence people to start buying some good products from
Heck yeah.
people that look like us.
Hey, go check out that list.
For sure.
It's going to be on there.
Yeah.
He looked at me funny because he ain't put that list on yet.
Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. I was just looking at the computers right
Yeah,
now.
just go look at the list. Hey, there is not one brand on there that I have not liked their product. Like, I've bought a lot of Black-owned businesses, and if I didn't like the product, I wouldn't promote it. I loved every last one of them.
That's awesome to hear. And may we continue to find great products to spread and share with the rest of the community who's listening.
You gonna spend your money.
I know that.
Spend it with us.
Attack the day with relentless tenacity. Bend all opportunities to your will. Be great on purpose.
I'm going to get lunch.
Boom.